My name is Roman. I'm 31. I work as a technician for the city's communications service. I've never liked mysticism, ghost stories, just nonsense for teens and superstitious old women. That's how I felt until I had to fix a connection issue in a sector I will never go near again. It was in the fall. Nasty, wet weather, constant gray skies. My coworker was sick, and the management sent me to check a video surveillance signal from the city outskirts, near the Starogorsk Cemetery. I tensed up immediately. That place had a bad reputation, almost abandoned. People don't even like going there during the day. Stories about disappearances, figures on camera footage. But for me, it was just a work zone. I arrived during the day. Cold wind, swirling dead leaves. The trees along the road looked like dried hands reaching into the sky. Past the low concrete fence was the abandoned section of the cemetery. Old crosses, collapsed headstones, faded wreaths. The signal came from a camera in the southeastern corner. I checked the map and headed in. Inside, silence. Strange, deep silence. Even the wind seemed to stop. Mud squished under my boots. The graves looked utterly forsaken. I tried not to look around. Foolish, but I was uneasy. I reached the site and opened the panel. The contacts were oxidized. I cleaned them, checked the power. Simple job. Soon the camera came back online. I was about to leave, but then I saw something odd. At the base of an old oak tree about 20 meters away was a piece of cloth. Curiosity won. I approached. It was a child's backpack, dirty, soaked, with a torn zipper. Very old, as if it had been buried in the dirt for 10 years. I picked it up and I smelled a foul, rotten stench like a dead animal. I dropped it instantly and heard a sound. Behind me, quiet, wet, like a bare foot stepping in mud. I turned sharply, no one, just graves, and an old angel statue staring downward. But I was sure someone had been behind me, watching. My heart pounded. I grabbed my tools and left. The whole way back, I felt someone was following. Breathing got harder, as if the air grew heavier. I passed through the gate, and whatever it was, let go. That evening, I reported, work completed. I didn't mention the backpack or what I felt. Didn't know how to explain it. Thought I'd forget, but the next day it started. I woke up at night. On the windowsill was a dirty handprint, like someone had stood outside watching. I live on the 4th floor, no balcony. I checked the hallway. Silence, then noise in the bathroom, faint dripping. I turned on the light. The mirror was fogged, like someone had just breathed on it. On the glass, a child's handprint. I couldn't sleep anymore. The next night, I finally fell asleep near dawn. I woke up to noise. In the hallway, my dog, Marta, stood stiff, staring into the corner, quietly whining. The corner was empty, but I saw. She was focused on something. I walked over and felt an intense cold, like from a freezer. I thought of the cemetery and the backpack. I decided to return, in daylight, just to be sure. The next day I went back, brought gloves and a flashlight, just in case. Inside it was just as grim. I walked to the oak. The backpack was still there, as if no one had touched it. But near it, in the wet earth, I saw small barefoot footprints, about 10, leading from the backpack to a broken grave nearby. I moved closer. It was an old, crumbling grave. No nameplate, just a concrete slab with faded writing. Name unknown, 1996. I leaned in to read it, then heard crying behind me. Software childlike, barely audible. I turned and saw that all the fog around me was gathering into one point deep in the alley. Something was moving there. I didn't wait to find out. I ran, through bushes and graves, smashing through wreaths. Then, light. Far off, a candle, real, flickering yellow. I approached and saw I stood on a fresh grave. The plaque had no name, just one phrase, buried before time. I staggered back, and then I heard footsteps behind me. I turned. Darkness. No one. Then the flashlight died. I stood there frozen for 10 minutes, then sat on a stone, barely breathing. Then came a whisper from under the ground, raspy and clear. You came to the wrong place. Roman? I screamed, ran, blinded, tripping, bruising knees. But I heard it. Something was following. Not running, walking, dry, slow, across the dirt. I reached the cemetery wall. Not the gate, the blank concrete wall. I climbed, tore my hands. Behind me, a second whisper. You should stay. You've already been buried. I made it over, fell into the mud, laid there, then got up and ran to the street. I didn't tell anyone, but something strange happened. When I got home, on the table was a photograph. Old, black and white. It showed the cemetery, the third gate, and me standing just inside it. I burned it, moved several times. Nothing happened again. But sometimes when I look at old photos taken after that day, in the reflections in the shadows, I swear he's still there, watching.